Coming to you live Friday, December 27th. Sage, the 49ers season is over. They're likely going to get their ass kicked by the Detroit Lions on Monday night. Nobody knows if Kyle Shanahan or Brock Purdy is the answer, but it was Christmas, Sage. I had a great time. How was your Christmas, my man? Good to see you again.
Dude, nice to see you too. I missed it. Just so caught up with family stuff, getting into the grind of just catching up on everyone, having the same conversation 3 days in a row while the relatives are in town.
It gets brutal,
The nice part, it made me forget about what the Niners have been, right? So I got to take, a little break from football, watch some Christmas Day basketball, watch some Die Hard. It's a Wonderful Life. Caught up on, my morals, who I am, what raised me, what made me the man I am today. And now we're back to it. We're back to the grind. Got to pretend like there's some bright spots to this season to look forward to, what we can point at, why they suck, and get back into the grind of things, right?
Absolutely.
How's your Christmas?
I mean, Sage, it was cool, man. I mean, it was low key. December 24th, literally just had my grandpa over with my parents and my sister. Watched It's a Wonderful Life. I chefed up. I mean, I know you don't have that in your bag, but maybe one day you'll be able to cook up for the family on Christmas. It feels good.
How are the chicken wings?
What?
How are the chicken wings? Were they good?
Try ribeye steaks, baby. Ribeye steaks with potatoes. It did a nice little peppercorn sauce. Hold on. Pan-seared. I pan-seared. I didn't just throw it on the barbecue.
Easiest thing to make.
I didn't throw it on the barbecue like a fucking Neanderthal. I put it on the pan. Got a nice little sauce with it. What's up?
You use a meat thermometer?
No.
Yeah,
no, baby. No. You go high heat, 8 minutes, man. That's all you need. 8 minutes. No need for a thermometer.
I'm pretty good with it. I do like the point, like when you stick it.
So you do the thermometer?
No. Like when you just you could feel with your finger. You could kind of
God, I mean? See, I can never do that.
I've gotten decently good at it from college because we never had a grill, so I've become better with it.
Is that what you did with the DiGiorno in the oven?
The DiGiorno. Get to the fucking segment.
But all right, Sager, in all honesty, man, not a lot of news coming out of the Niners camp. I mean, I don't know if this was before or after our last episode, but Trent Williams is officially shut down. He's not going to be playing.
Before.
Yeah, so he's not going to be playing for the last couple of weeks. Dre Greenlaw, this was one that we were calling for, but we never thought was going to happen. I mean, he played 2 games, got injured in both games. It's like, please, Shanahan, sit him the fuck down. We don't want him to get hurt again. He's shut down now. Shanahan said he talked with Greenlaw, said that he understood. Warner was basically like, thank God. Someone needed to go in there and tell Dre that he couldn't play. Sometimes you got to do that with players who want to get on the field. But
yeah, Warner and Bosa. They both said the thing is about Dre is you got to protect him from himself. Basically, both had the same quote on that. So, I mean, does it suck? Yeah, but the season's going nowhere, so it's better not to see him out there.
It's like putting a leash on a dog, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Like on a pit bull. If you don't put the leash on, he's going to go for it every fucking time. That's Dre Greenlaw, so they shut him down. Sager, injury news coming out of, I guess, last practice. So practice earlier today. Seems like Aaron Banks is also going to be out. He's on the IR. Jalen Moore, the guy who came in for Trent Williams at left tackle, he's going to be out. Ben Barch is going to be out. So that O-line, our O-line is just fucked, it seems like, for this game. Cole McKivitz on the right side is questionable.
Yep. Didn't practice today.
Yeah, I mean, Sage, we were talking about this a little bit before, but it seems like Nick Zakelj is going to be set to start at left guard for the 49ers. And then we don't even know what's going to go on with Spencer Burford, who's a guard but was set to be the left tackle for the game on Monday.
It's disgusting, man. I mean, it's disgusting. You see what Brock Purdy has been doing with his O-line, extending plays, using his legs, but this is the ultimate test. You don't even have your backups. In some cases, you don't even have your backups. You're pulling practice stringers. His roommate, Nick Zakelj, who I don't know if he has any career starts. I'm going to guess no. I don't remember him ever.
Did he start last game or did he come in mid-game?
He came in, right?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm looking at it. I don't see a career start on here. Man, I mean, and you're going against the perfect situation for it, thankfully. I mean, the Lions are in the same spot as you are, except on the opposite, right? All their pass rushers are dead. They're all in the IR. They're not going to be able – I mean, they played the Bears last week, and they couldn't even really get a pass rush. They couldn't get it home to Caleb. So maybe that's the one bright spot in this is that you're playing a team that their D-line is just as injured as your O-line maybe. But it gets to the point where at some point you have to be do we even play this guy? Do we even play Purdy? Because it's dangerous. The O-line was bad already. It's dangerous now.
Dude, Austin Pleasance is likely going to be the left tackle for the 49ers. Sage, he's played 2 career snaps. This guy just got called up from the practice squad on the 21st. I think he's been on about 9 teams' practice squads. So this guy is, I mean, no disrespect to Austin Pleasance. I don't know who he is. I bet he's a nice guy. Dude's a scrub. And that's the guy who's going to be guarding Brock Purdy's blind side. That is not a spot you want to be in. Shanahan basically kind of said today that he's going to play. Like, we're going to try to do our best to win this game, and he's going to play. So
did you see the
for
quote?
The people who are trying to protect Brock Purdy, he's going to be out there, and this got to be the number one fear, right? Sage, that Austin Pleasance just blows a block, and you got some monster like Zadarius Smith coming right after Brock Purdy's back.
Yeah, Shanahan said, I have a football team to run. What do you want me to do? Because he was asked, like, are you going to play, like, is there any thought to bench Purdy? Like, the season's dead. Like, what are you playing him for? Like, maybe see Tanner Mordecai. Once again, I'm so anti seeing the Tanner Mordecai. Purdy's playing for a contract.
Who is Tanner Mordecai?
Bro, I don't know if he's a rookie or second year.
He was
whatever,
like the practice squad guy?
Yeah, and he's 25, so he's a year older than Purdy. And people are like, oh, he has a strong arm, this and that. I think he was Rashid Rice's quarterback at SMU, and then he went to Wisconsin.
No shit. Okay, I didn't know that.
But I don't know, man. Like I watched the tape on him 2 weeks ago when everyone was like hyping him up. Even his highlight tape doesn't impress me, right? Like I was blown away by the Trey Lance highlight tape. I was blown away by the Justin Fields highlight.
You thought he was going to be the next Michael Vick, who was a better pocket passer when you saw Trey Lance's fucking highlight tape. We all did.
To be fair, I didn't want Trey Lance. I just put my faith. I'm like, you know what? Kyle's the genius.
Who did you want? Who did you want? Because I know that you were anti Trey Lance.
I wanted Mac Jones, to be honest. Like I was in the Mac Jones camp. I mean, just because I thought it fit, right? I was like, it'll work. Like it would have been bad. Any direction they went. Justin Fields would have been bad. Zach Wilson would have been bad. Mac Jones would have been bad. Trey Lance obviously was the worst case scenario though. And to be fair, I mean, they didn't really have much options then. But going back to it, you have Purdy. You're throwing him behind this O-line, and you're basically just rolling the dice now. You're rolling the dice. You're praying to God like nothing bad happens because that left side, that right side, and you know what's been happening up the middle, it's coming from all angles. I'm expecting them to run the hell out of the ball, try and possess it, and try and keep Purdy out of the way. Maybe it's a good thing, you know? Maybe it's one of those things where it's like they're putting a clock on him at practice like, dude, 2 seconds out or else you're going to die. Like you might die on this football field right after Christmas, right before the new year. You want this contract, stay healthy, get it out quick, and just get it to the playmakers and let them do their thing.
I mean, you got Garendo back. I think the O-line is the only part of the 49ers team that I'm like, okay, this is scary. But the defense, you could almost argue the defense is healthier than it's ever been. It seems like Leonard Floyd's going to be playing. Jair Brown's going to be going. The only guy that you're missing is really Javon Hargrave, but you got Hufanga back. Greenlaw's not going to be in there, but D. Winters, I feel like D. Winters has shown that he's going to be okay. I'm not really too sure about Flanagan Fowles, but Sage, I think it's time, man. I think it's time. That's all we really got for the Niners, but we're going to talk about the team that they're matching up against on Monday night. That's going to be the Detroit Lions. Sage, I mean, I feel like they've been the team that everybody in the country has been rooting for as like their second team the past couple of years. Dan Campbell's a complete electric factory. Love that guy. They're 13-2. They've been dominant all year, but Sage, the story with the Lions past like few weeks has been that their defense has just been getting racked up with injuries. I think it was about like 8 weeks ago, you had Aiden Hutchinson go down, who was looking like he was going to be the defensive player of the year at like one point.
Lifetime ago.
Aleem McNeil, they just lost last week, and Carlton Davis, their number one interior D lineman, their number one cornerback. So Detroit has by far the best offense in the league. They're number one in points per game. I think they're second in yards per game. But a lot of people are scared about the defense. Can it hold up? They're plus 400 to win the Super Bowl, plus 170 to win the NFC. They're still the favorites in the NFC. And they're minus 330 to win the NFC North. But Sage, this is the situation for the Lions. So if the Vikings win on Sunday, then this game means nothing for the Lions. If they lose, it doesn't matter. They match up in Week 18. Whoever wins that game.
Other way around, right?
Yeah. So it.
You got it right. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you got it right.
Yeah, so if the Vikings lose, then this game doesn't mean shit for the Lions. Really, it's all going to come down to whoever wins on next week.
Yeah.
When the Lions take on the Vikings. So it's not locked up yet, man. But basically, they could get to a point where this game is to lock up the NFC North, lock up the 1 seed, and they may need it if they want to make a Super Bowl.
Yeah, like you said, it's going to be predetermined, right? How important this game is on Sunday because Green Bay is basically out of it with four. I mean, they are out of it. They got 4 losses. Minnesota 2 losses. Detroit 2 losses. Minnesota wins Sunday. You see what happens. It's going to really come down to that next game. I think that might have to do with it. We'll get into like what this line means, like why it's so low and why it's in favor of the Niners so
It
much.
makes no fucking sense.
Why it hasn't moved even a half point since it came out on Sunday. But I think you basically hit it. I think they're expecting the Vikings to win. They're expecting this game basically to mean nothing for the Lions and that they're just going to put all their cards in the middle of the table next week. It's interesting, man, right? You hit all the important points with the Lions. Second in total yards, right? Second in passing yards, sixth in rush yards, second in yards per play, first in points, top 5 in third down percentage.
The offense is fucking legit.
Absolute juggernaut. They're in it every game because of that offense. Doesn't matter who they're playing. It's interesting. We haven't really seen them go against an elite defense and what that would look like. But how many elite defenses really are there in the league? Like, I don't even think they're going to have to worry about that at all. It seems like every team in the NFL this year is winning by their offense. Maybe the Eagles are the one you could point to, but you look, when I think of Philly, I still think of that offense first. Think of the tush push, think of that run game, think of Saquon Barkley. So I think it's coming down to their offense. And even with all these injuries, I think they have the most guys on IR. Haven't really missed a beat. I'm sure in that Buffalo game, they would have liked to have their defenders all there, right? Maybe you get a few stops on Josh Allen, stop him there, but your bread and butter is that offense. It's carrying you, the Ben Johnson schemes, your little trick plays, everything that's gone you to this point. It's still there. Minus David Montgomery, the O-line still
I was going to
healthy.
say, what do you think about that, man? Do you think that because they had that two-headed monster, I feel like the entire media...
Sonic and Knuckles.
Yes, there we go, Sonic and Knuckles. But kind of market as you got Gibbs, right? And you got Montgomery. But we've been kind of saying the entire year, we're like, Jahmyr Gibbs is probably the best running back in the NFL. Yeah, I get that you're trying to save him a little bit. You don't want to be like in all honesty, like a Kyle Shanahan, just give the guy 400 carries or treat him like a Derrick Henry. But I don't see this as that big of a loss to the Lions, man. I feel like Jahmyr Gibbs, you wouldn't take any other running back in the league except for maybe a Derrick Henry or a Saquon Barkley. So the Lions offense is going to get humming, man. I mean, we haven't even talked about their O-line. It's like by far the best O-line in football. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown. You got Jameson Williams. I mean, what did he do? Did he bet? How did he get popped for suspend? Or steroids?
No. This year it was steroids. Last year he bet on college basketball while in the Lions facility in March. So he got suspended for the first 4 or 6 games of the season. So he bet on college basketball, but he was in the Lions facility.
Bullshit. That's bullshit. If you're an NFL player, you're betting college football. That's what the
college basketball, yeah. And he got tagged with it. I don't even know how they fucking had like the IP or whatever, but he got tagged with it. You know, these guys have like all their shit, just like it's wired. And they're just like all up in it. But yeah, that's your wide receiver 2. You got Tim Patrick, obviously didn't do anything last week, but he's showing signs as a good wide receiver 3. You got Laporta slowly coming back. You got that O-line against the Niners team that's been struggling to get to the quarterback. So I'm not worried about it from if I'm the Lions, am I going to be able to score on the Niners? The answer should clearly be yes. I mean, the Dolphins were able to do it, right? The Rams weren't able to do it, but you know, a little different there, divisional game. Know the team reigning, whatever, but everyone else has been able to move the ball on the Niners, right? Everyone else has been able to score on the Niners. So I wouldn't be worried too much if I was the Lions.
How do we feel? Hold on. How do we feel about because I'm looking at the Lions offense. I'm like, of course, they're going to be able to gash the 49ers run defense. And even though we like guys like Mooney Ward, Talanoa Hufanga, Malik Mustafa, I think if Jared Goff gets enough time, he's going to carve up that secondary. Maybe Deommodore Lenoir will be able to have a good game, but Amon-Ra, Jameson Williams, like they're going to find time to get open if you give Goff enough time. But what do we think about the Niners offense matching up against that Lions defense? Because I wouldn't say the Lions defense was even elite when they had all their guys, but now they lost like their 3 best players. So even though they don't have really anything going on in the O-line, the 49ers, how do you feel about them moving the ball against this Lions defense? Do you think that's possible?
I mean, I think it's possible. They're so banged up. I mean, you look at it, right? Their last 4 games, right? Just take their last 4 games, for example. They give up 17 to the Bears, 48 to the Bills, 31 to the Packers, 20 to the Bears again, right? They're gettable. They're super gettable. Yeah, I mean, they have no second second cornerback next to, is it Tyrion Arnold? Is their guy?
Tyrion Arnold, yeah, they drafted him this year, but he's been awful, man. I think he's like I know you don't like PFF, Sage. I know you don't trust PFF.
It's growing on me.
But the dude's 48.8. I think he's a bottom 5 cornerback, and that's your cornerback too. So there's some third guy who's coming in here that's worse than him probably. So you can't be that confident. You
have that going on. You have like their whole pass rush situation. They have no healthy like defensive tackles, no healthy defensive ends. Their linebackers are hurt. So if I'm the Niners, coming off, you have nothing to lose. You should come out, be aggressive. I don't think they're going to be able to. They're going to be struggling to move the ball all that much. I think they'll be able to run on them. I think they'll be able to pass on them. I think they'll be able to, keep pace. But I shouldn't say keep pace, but I think they'll be able to get theirs. But the question is, can you keep pace? Right? Can you keep pace with the Lions offense? Because damn well on the other side of the ball, the Niners ain't stopping shit. The Niners ain't stopping anything. Everyone's able to move the ball in the Niners. You saw what the Packers did. You saw what the Bills did in the snow. Saw what the Dolphins were able to do. So that's the real concern there, because the Niners injuries on offense are almost like X'd out because of how bad the Detroit situation is on their defense. Yeah. It comes down to the other side of the ball. It really does. And I just don't think it's going to be possible. I really don't. If the Lions don't punt on Monday, I wouldn't be shocked.
Sage, okay, so that's the thing, because when I'm thinking about the 49ers offense, you do have Guerrero coming back. So I don't know if that O-line is going to be able to make – I don't know if he's going to be able to make holes for him, but I just have a feeling that the Niners are going to be putting up points. So I think the Niners are probably going to put up 24 points on this Lions
Dude,
defense.
What makes you think that, though, man?
You know why, Sage? Because I've seen this fucking line so many times before, and there's not really – this line makes no sense.
It doesn't.
Fact that the Niners season is over. They have no O-line. They have nothing to play for. Right?
You're resting guys. You're straight up resting guys.
There's not going to be any home field advantage at Levi's. Like, Levi's is not going to be pumped up for this game. You got the Lions coming in. They've won, what? Fucking 12 of their last 13 games. The only loss was to who?
To
the
Josh
Bills.
Allen, of course.
Yeah, when they put up 45 points in that game. They have the best offense in the league, and they're only favored by 3.5 points. But I don't get it. I don't like Dan Campbell. I have a quote right here. When people said, "Hey, Dan, your team's like dropping like flies. This game really doesn't matter. All you need to do is win week 18 against the Vikings, and you're the 1 seed. You win the NFC North." He said, "I'll make this easy for everybody. That way all the critics can jump out and start attacking, but that way you don't have to debate them anymore. We're bringing everything we got to this game, and we're playing. I don't care what it looks like and where it's at and who's this, who's that. We're going out to play and win this game out on the West Coast, so there you go." Do you believe him for a second? Because I do. I don't think that guy lies.
I believe him. No, that guy does not lie. He's as straight as an arrow. When he came in his opening presser, he said, "We're going to bite kneecaps. We're going to be tough." That's what they do. Like, straight up, they're tough. Like, they have like a culture. They have everything. Like, I don't think this guy's not playing chess. He's just the type of guy where he says, like, "I'm going to come out there. I'm going to punch you in the mouth." And he does it, right? It's like Usyk. Didn't Usyk say something similar to?
Don't Fury do this to me. See, I'm a Tyson Fury guy. I lost twice with fucking Fury. Don't do the Usyk comparisons yet. Come on, man.
Yeah, but you know what it is. Usyk said, like, "I'm going to get there. I'm going to press you. And he wasn't lying, bro. He did it. Just like, can you stop it? I'm telling you what I'm going to do. It's just, can you stop it? It's mind games. It's not supposed to rain anymore, which it gives me some confidence. I mean, if it was just a rainy, shitty weather game and it's like our run game versus your run game, it's going to be a blowout. The Niners got to get, they got to get something in the pass game. If the Niners fall behind, they're not going to be able to stop the run. We came into that game last week against the Dolphins. We said the Niners can't stop, or the Dolphins can't run a yard, right, against anyone. They have the nicest looking 1 and 2 yard runs. They do like a triple motion. Tua does a 360, hands it off 1 yard. Against the Niners, they're able to run it for 5-6 yards a pop. What's Jahmyr Gibbs going to do? I mean, what is it? Craig Reynolds? I don't think that's, what's his name? Reynolds for the
Craig Reynolds, yeah. Is he on the Broncos now, or is he the second running back still?
No, he's the second running back. They have him, and then they have that Polynesian dude, or their second and third strings, right? They didn't do anything against the Bears, really. It was the Jahmyr Gibbs show. It shows you maybe they do miss Montgomery a little, but can you stop Jahmyr Gibbs? Is Jahmyr Gibbs just going to run amok on you? I think he will. I mean, the Niners haven't shown really anything that they could stop the run. So I think the Lions are still going to be able to bring their identity, bring everything that they have to Santa Clara. They're going to be able to run the ball at will against the Niners. The Niners' only shot really of winning this game is, can you get into a shootout with Jared Goff and Purdy? Like, can you outpass them? Because I think like we just mentioned with that O-line, I don't think the Niners are going to be able to really move the ball on the ground. It's going to have to come from the right arm of Purdy, moving it, quick hitters here, quick hitters there, getting it to playmakers. Hopefully the fucking Deebo Samuel from last week shows up this week. Juwan Jennings from 2 weeks ago shows up this week. You got to get your best out of everyone. Kittle said he's ready to go. So getting it to those guys, just exposing what that Niners or what that Lions defense is, right? Getting it to them. That's how you're going to win this game. I can't say you're going to win the game by, dominating the run, but it's got to be like plays, extension of the run, tunnel screens, like little drop-off screens, getting it to playmakers quick, to Kittle, to Garendo, whatever, and just letting them work with it. Don't let the pass rush get to Purdy, because the Lions offense, we know what it is. They're dangerous. They're going to score points. You got to keep up with them. You got to keep the ball away from them.
And this is what I'm looking at, Sage. I mean, I forgot about these guys that are injured on the Lions defense. Malcolm Rodriguez. Remember Rodrigo?
Of course.
In Hard Knocks?
Hard Knocks.
Rodrigo.
Yeah.
He's out. Alex Anzalone, the big blonde dude, the big blonde Norwegian guy, is always just fucking shit up in the middle of the field. He's out. Like I said, Carlton Davis is out. You got 2 shitty cornerbacks. Sage, the way that I look at it, I just feel like the Niners are going to be able to run the ball. You got Isaac Rendo back. You don't have to do the Pat Taylor experiment anymore.
But you think they'll be able to run it with that whole line?
I do.
I can't.
Dude,
I
think we still underestimate Kyle Shanahan.
This is true.
Especially when everybody's doubting him.
This is true. Everybody's
just writing Kyle Shanahan off, acting like because there's a couple injuries on the O-line that he's not going to be able to move the ball.
It's way more than a couple.
Dude, I know.
It's way more than a couple.
I know. But the linebackers for the Lions right now are pretty weak. I mean, you got Jack Campbell, who I think they drafted a couple years ago, but the other 2 guys that are out there are practice squatters. You got 2 terrible cornerbacks. They do have the good safety duo. I think it's I got it right here, Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph, but I just feel like they're going to be able to run the ball. When they're able to run the ball, they get the play action set up. That's going to get Kittle matched up on guys, in the linebacking core. I think that's a favorable matchup for the 49ers. I think that Debo, who knows if Debo's going to have a good game, but based on the Debo that I saw last week, I feel like he'll be able to make something happen. Pearsall and Jawan Jennings on those cornerbacks. So really, Sage, what I'm trying to do is just make sense of the line, because when I just look at this game, like you said, I think that the Lions are going to fucking destroy the Niners defense, which I still believe. But do the Niners keep pace enough? Maybe is there a backdoor cover to where the Niners get inside that number? Because it makes no sense.
So we're not talking about a win here. We're just talking about, can they cover the 3.5? That's like the outlook we have right now.
The 49ers will not win this game unless the Lions lay down their swords. So this is the kind of fucked up thing, because we can't give a full-on preview unless we know what the Vikings do. Right?
No, we can. Like we said, bro, we believe Dan. Or at least I do. I believe Dan Campbell. I think win or lose, they're coming to kick ass on Monday. I think they're all about image. Like I said when we were previewing them a few weeks ago, I said they're not like the Chiefs. They don't want to win. They want to win spectacularly. Like they want to beat the shit out of you.
But also, Sage, everybody is dropping. They have like 4 practice squatters on this fucking starting defense right now. Like,
I think they look at the Niners as
how much more can you afford?
And they just want to take advantage of them. They see him, had a little too many drinks across the bar. They're like, it's time for me to make my move. We all know that guy. They're just looking at the Niners from across the bar. They're looking at him. They're looking to make their move. I think they're gonna. Like, I really do. I think, like, if it's there, they could run the ball. And look what they did to the Bears last week. After looking like it was like a 50-50 game against the Bears 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago on Thanksgiving, get the Bears on the road this week or last week and just beat the shit out of them. Would not stop feeding Jahmyr Gibbs the ball. And they had 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. Got stuffed, ran again, and until they got it. And they're just going to keep doing that, man. They had a 14-point lead. They run the stumble bum. They're just pulling out trick plays, fake punts. Like, they don't give a shit, bro. They don't give a shit, bro. Like,
ball?
I don't know. I didn't hear the mic'd up version of it, but they don't give a shit. Like, that's a play that you save for the Super Bowl, like you saw with the Niners. They had that double pass to Jawan Jennings back to Christian McCaffrey.
Jennings, yeah.
And you save those plays for the Super Bowl. When you're the Lions and you have an abundance of them, you just throw them out whenever. So I really don't think they're going to show up and just look to cover it. Like, I think they're going to show up and like look to kick the shit out of the Niners.
So we'll get a better idea after that Vikings-Packers game if they are going to play their players. Sage thinks that they're going to roll them out. I think that there's a chance that Dan Campbell's bullshitting a little bit. I feel like he's saying that. I mean, he can't say that he's not going to play his guys, right? That would just be like anti-Dan Campbell. All his players would be like, hold on, what the fuck? Well, you're the guy who's telling us to bite kneecaps. You're like referencing Metallica. You like won't let us give the other team an inch, and then you say this shit. So we'll see. But Sager, where do you think this Lions team is at? Like I said, they're plus 400 to win the Super Bowl. They're favored to win the NFC. The defense is fucking dropping. The defense has been getting lit up the past 5 weeks. Even though they have the number 1 offense in the league, a lot of people think that defense, you can't win a Super Bowl with that defense. What do you think, Sage? How far can the Lions go?
Listen, man, as I was doing some prep, just seeing like when are these guys coming back, and it seems like for the most part they're going to get most of their like not most, but like a good percentage of their guys back, right? They'll get
So who? So who?
so they won't get Montgomery back, but they'll get Anzalone back, right?
They're gonna get Anzalone back. Yep.
They'll get Rodrigo back. They'll get
No, Rodrigo out for season.
out for season. Okay.
So
And
I did a little prep too. It seems like
So-
McNeil, it seems like Hutchinson, they're going to be out for the season too.
So Hutchinson, yeah, obviously. Hutchinson might miss some of next season too, right? I mean, snapped his leg in half.
I mean, Hutchinson had the Nick Chubb like leg break a couple weeks ago.
So Montgomery is interesting because they said he could come back, right, for the late half of the season. Then they said he's done. So I don't know what to think about him, but I'm just going to assume they don't have Montgomery, right? And this is
Yeah.
kind of it. I don't think they can win the Super Bowl. Like I just don't. If the defense is this, like how can I think like they're gonna beat anyone from the AFC? Maybe they could get out, of the NFC. I mean, Philly's just a mess. Like that locker room is such a mess. I could see it collapsing on themselves. And I think Philly's the better team. Like I know they lost last weekend, but they were in control until Hurts went down. I think other than that, like what's troubling for them is it's kind of like the Niners situation when they were good with the Rams and with the Seahawks, right? It's like your other competitors are in your division, so they don't fear you. They know you well. You're going to have to go through the Vikings or maybe the Packers, right? And then you're going to have to go through Philly, which is kind of troubling because say you do beat the Vikings, then you beat them twice. And then they're going to come for you and they know you better. It's kind of something what happened with the Niners, right? 2 years ago or 3 years ago against the Rams, beat them twice in the regular season. They get you in the playoffs, right? So I just think the deck is stacked against the Lions this year. And it flipped fast because at the beginning of the year, I was looking at the Lions and I was like, damn, like who's going to stop them in the NFC? And then you realize like the Vikings are legit. The Packers, after those first 6-7 weeks with Love in and out of the lineup, they really rebounded and found themselves like leaning on the run more. Defense is slowly improving once they brought Salah in. And then you see what Philly is the second half of the season. Like they're legit. Saquon, I mean, offensive player of the year. The defense just continues to improve. So I think it's going to be a struggle just to get out of the NFC for them with all these injuries on the defense because anyone could score on them, right? I think anyone's going to be able to score on them, especially if they have home field. You're in a dome. You're bringing that Philly offense to a dome. You're bringing that Vikings offense to a dome. That Packers offense to a dome. I mean, Packers almost beat them 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, and they're even more banged up now. So I think just getting out of the NFC is going to be a struggle. And then you play the Chiefs with that defense, and you see what the Chiefs' offense is being like. I think it's lights out.
I don't think they'd be favored against the Ravens, the Chiefs, or the Bills in a Super Bowl right now.
I think Ravens maybe, but Bills.
But dude, wouldn't Ravens just be a terrible matchup for them because the Ravens could stop the run better than anybody in the league? I feel like that shuts down a lot.
Yeah,
I feel like that shuts down a lot of what the Lions could do on offense. I mean, I don't think that it's kind of like a thing where you can only hope to contain them. You can't stop them. But if you're the best team in the league stopping the run, that'll help you against the Lions when they got Jahmyr Gibbs. But then, Lamar's going to tear that fucking defense apart. There's no way that the Lions can stop Lamar at a decent clip in a Super Bowl for me.
You say that, but it's like what do we compare Lamar to, right? He's like Embiid, he's like Harden. Maybe it's just in his head, right? He gets to that.
Do you think he would? Do you think he would fuck up an opportunity like that against his defense?
I mean, dude, like we said that last year, we're like, and the lights were just too bright for him. And
no, it's true. I mean, it's something I got to see.
I just got to see it. Like, obviously you say it and I want to agree with you based off what I've seen, but I think there's a difference between beating the shit out of the Texans on Christmas and winning a Super Bowl or winning a playoff game. Because like I said, every year, find me the year in Lamar Jackson's career where his worst game wasn't in the playoffs, right? And then once you do that and you prove yourself wrong, then maybe, or you prove me wrong on that, then maybe I'll believe in you, but I can't believe it till I see it. I really just can't believe it till I see it. I just think the Ravens are set up to beat so many teams, but they're not set up to beat the Chiefs at all. And I think that's an issue. Because what does stopping the run do for you against the Chiefs when Mahomes just going to pick that secondary apart, right? Like what is your offense like? What's your offense based on? Stopping the running the ball. What are the Chiefs great at? Stopping the run. So I just think like if that's the like one thing that's in your way, I just don't think they could get past it. I just think the Chiefs are going to just pick that defense apart. So you got to hope someone else beats them. Because could they beat Buffalo? Fuck yeah, they did it already this year. They beat the shit out of the Bills. Can they beat the Texans? We just saw it happen. Can they? Who else is there? The Broncos, the Bengals. Like they could beat all these other teams. It's just the Chiefs for them. So they get past the Chiefs. Maybe it's interesting. But like you said, they are a really bad matchup for the Bills on paper. But I got to see it.
So this is what I'll say, man. When it comes to the Lions, For me, it all comes down to, do they get the 1 seed? If they don't get the 1 seed and you have to win every game on the road, especially like you got to go to Minnesota, you got to go to Philadelphia. Who knows? I mean, I don't think there's a way that they could go to Green Bay. I think Green Bay can only finish second in the NFC North. But yeah, I can only see the Lions going deep into the playoffs if they get that 1 seed, if they're at home, because Sage, this is still the best offense in the NFL. I mean, maybe I give the nod to Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills when Josh Allen's humming, but it's going to be tough to stop them.
The Lions on their best day are the best offense, without, like, in my opinion.
I think so. And do I think that Philly could stop this Lions offense? I don't. I get that everybody loves that Philadelphia defense, but I think the Lions are going to be able to find a way to score touchdowns. And who do I trust more, man? Jared Goff or Jalen Hurts? Let's be honest. Because I think that this is a toss-up question for a lot of people, but for me, it's Jared Goff. I mean, Jalen Hurts, we've seen him turn the ball over in big situations. He had that big Super Bowl against the Chiefs, but other than that, I haven't really been that impressed with Jalen Hurts. We know he has the tush-push factor. We know that, running the ball, he's a threat. But out of the pocket, he scares me.
Chase.
So, yeah.
Just like, I just want to stop you there while we're on.
No, go ahead.
That Super Bowl against the Chiefs, I think, is one of the most overrated performances I've ever seen. He ran it in from the inside the 5-yard line.
He did fuck it up too.
He fucked it up. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and he tried to fuck it up twice. Like, not fuck it up twice, but the Eagles had a fumble in that game from Miles Sanders. That was clearly a fumble that the refs just didn't want to give him for whatever reason, when he just like basically let him out there to get laid out. So I don't know, man. Like, I rewatched that Super Bowl the other day, and I just was like, he had that one throw to AJ Brown, the one touchdown throw he had, where AJ Brown made a hell of a play. He threw it into double coverage. AJ Brown just burned them, but that's AJ Brown. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't trust Jalen Hurts in a big moment. I do trust Jared Goff. He's been there.
So you're saying that you're going to take Philly over the Lions in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think Philly's defense is just way. It's about the units. I don't think the Lions
even in Detroit, you say that.
Yeah.
With Eminem in the crowd, lose yourself on the speakers.
I know.
You're taking Philly.
I just think the devil works in mysterious ways, man. Right? Like, he gave the Detroit had nothing. He gave them everything, and then he took it all away. So I don't know, man. It's sad because the Lions.
Is there any factor though that they got to the NFC Championship last year? They fucking had it. Niner fans, we all know they had it. They should have beat us. They fucked it up. Don't you think that there's a Dan Campbell and that, like, have you seen that locker room after wins? They look like the tightest unit in the NFL. With that offense, don't you feel like there's some magic there? That if they have home field advantage, that no one's going to be able to outscore that offense in Detroit. That's what I feel. So if I had to put my money on it, first off, I think that they're going to beat the Vikings, or the Vikings are going to lose to the Packers. Then the Lions beat the Niners, lock up the NFC North, lock up the 1 seed. If they're at home the entire NFC playoffs, I got them winning it. The thing is, though, Sage, like we said, the Chiefs, they'll be able to shut down their run game a little bit. They'll be able to stop it. That'll be huge. I got the Chiefs in a Super Bowl. The Bills, we saw it. The Bills were one of those teams that could outscore the Lions in Detroit. I would take the Bills, and I would take the Ravens too. So if I had to give an official prediction, I would say that the Lions are going to make it to the Super Bowl, but lose. I'm going to be rooting for them, man. I love Dan Campbell. Love the city of Detroit. Love Jared Goff, but I think that the injuries on defense are too much to be one of those AFC teams. I really do. This defense is fucking skeleton of what it used to be.
I think you're a little prisoner of the moment too on the NFC on the NFC outlook. Like, I think the Eagles were in control of that Commanders game. Hurts goes down, the whole thing flips. I think if the Eagles went into Washington, beat them like 28-10, they just controlled the ball the whole time with Hurts, you're thinking a little different. I think Kenny Pickett really fucked up the whole situation.
But I get it, Sage, but it doesn't matter because they're not going to have home field advantage.
I guess. I just think, like, when you're in a dome,
I would agree with you. If they're in Philadelphia, I would take Philly.
Don't you think it's kind of like worrisome?
Happen. What?
Don't you think it's kind of worrisome though when you have that bad of a defense and you're in a dome on turf? Like, I don't know. I just think like it doesn't play to their advantage as well. Like, they looked better in Chicago, right? Like, they looked like.
I think you're underestimating the Detroit home field advantage factor in an NFC Championship game. Like, don't you feel like on defense sometimes like the energy in the crowd just like forces a couple stops?
I'm just gonna say this. I will give you that, but I
And
just
I
don't
feel like
think
that's all they'll really need is a couple stops here. It's going to be tough. I'm not going to say that the Lions are going to kick the shit out of them. I'm just saying I think more than 50% of the time the Lions find a way to win in a home NFC Championship game against Jalen Hurts and the Eagles.
I do, and I like their kicker. I like Bates. I think they're solid all three units. I mean, I guess two units because the defense is so bad. It's just that's what it comes down to is can their offense keep it up in the playoffs? I think they can. They kept it up last year. They were a good team. I mean, they had 2 scares, but I don't know. They win close games. Like they have won close games against the Bears. I guess it's the Bears, and then against the Packers, 2 divisional games. You saw back-to-back weeks, even with this terrible defense. They were able to, close out games, get the field goal against the Packers when they needed to, get the stop when they needed to. So situationally, they're good. I trust them. Sometimes Campbell dances a little too close to the line. I will say that. Like there are situations where I see it, I'm just like, it worked. It works when you have this much like talent on your offense, but goddamn, if you were to do this and it doesn't work, you look like the dumbest man on the planet.
But dude, he's going to have to do that more and more now.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's the thing, right?
If you're a Lions fan who's scared of that side of Dan Campbell, which I mean, after the NFC Championship, I'm sure there's a lot of Lions fans who are like, "Hey, Dan, take it down a notch." With that defense, I mean, we saw. I critiqued the fuck out of it. That onside kick against Buffalo when you're down 10 with like a quarter left, I thought it was an abomination, but you're going to see him do that stuff, man. We didn't think he would do it in an NFC Championship game with about 20-point lead at halftime?
Yeah, like exactly.
And he did it. So he's going to do it again. So watch out for it because Dan Campbell's going to be taking risks all playoffs.
No, it's 100%. It's in his nature, right? It's like an innate quality of his. He's just like a risk taker. He does like the craziest shit when you least expect it. The 4th down going for in the NFC Championship game against the Niners, the fake punts, it was against the Vikings, right? Where he did that fake punt on the opening drive. They didn't get it. And then after that, they just scored touchdowns every single drive following it. So sometimes it bails them out. When your offense is that explosive and you could score at will, you could be more aggressive, right? It's like we said, it's kind of the opposite of what we said, like with Andy Reid. He's so conservative because he knows he can be because of how good his defense is. And he has Patrick Mahomes controlling the offense, commanding the offense, that he has like the privilege of being more conservative, punting more than when he should to, not really having to listen to the analytics. Dan Campbell knows with that defense, how bad they are and how good the offense is. He kind of has an excuse to go for it, do crazy shit, keep the offense out there, 4th and 5, 4th and 6, they can go for it because they know they're going to win in shootouts. They have to keep the offense out there. If you're scared of it, you got to just live with it, right? Like, it's like taking a girl with a huge red flag. Like it comes with the territory. When you fall in love with Dan Campbell, if it comes with the territory, it's just what you have to live with.
So my official prediction, I said they win the NFC, lose in the Super Bowl. What's your official prediction for the Lions?
And this is assuming they get the 1 seed, or are we not doing that?
Yeah, let's just assume they get the 1 seed. Let's just assume things stay the way they are.
How they are. Assuming they get the 1 seed, I think they lose in the NFC Championship game to the Eagles.
Okay. I mean, that's fair, man. Like I said, I would give the nod to the Lions, but definitely, I could see the Eagles winning in a game like that. I could.
You know what's going to be interesting? They'll get the Packers in that first round. And that's going to be like kind of a nightmare.
When they get the Vikings.
Yeah, or if they get the Vikings,
this is all assumed that the Packers win their first game against, what would it be, the Rams?
It would be the Rams, yeah.
I mean, Sage, we're going to talk about it for sure because I put a gamble on that Vikings-Packers game. Or you know what? Before we do that, Sage, let's give a prediction for Niners-Lions. Let's just kind of wrap up this Monday Night Football segment. The Lions, -3.5 for the Detroit Lions. When they take on the 49ers Monday night in Levis Stadium, Sage, Nostradamus, what happens on Monday night?
I'm going to say this. As an away team, the Lions 6-1 against the spread. They've been humming all year. They're one of the most profitable teams in the NFL. Me and you have been betting them. We've been betting them against the spread. They're tremendous, I think. So as a favorite, they're 9-5 against the spread this year. On the road, like I said, they're 6-1, and the Niners on the other side at home as a home dog. So they haven't been a home dog. So first time they've been a home dog all year. After a loss, 4-4 against the spread as a home team, 4-4 against the spread. Pretty average all across the board. Average to below average all across. Non-division games, 4-6 against the spread. Been looking into it, trying to see if there's any trends that make me think like, why is the line this? Like, is there something that's favoring the Niners? Why is it so like Why is it so fishy? You smell it. You can smell it
It's
from a mile
fishy
away.
as fuck, man. It's fishy as fuck.
I'll buy into it. I'll buy into it. I think I'm going 28-13 Lions. I think they're gonna kick the shit out of us.
Okay,
I want
so
to be positive. I think Sam Laporta 4-touchdown game. Book it here.
Keep in mind, this is not what I want to happen. But I think this is what's going to happen. I get the stuff that's happened with the 49ers offensive line. I get that you're going to have Nick Zakelj, Austin Pleasance, or whatever the fuck his name on that line. That's scary. Who knows? Are they going to be able to protect Brock Purdy? Are they going to be able to get holes set up in that zone run scheme? I think they're going to find ways to move the ball, man. I think that a guy like Kyle Shanahan, when you declare him dead, when you say that he doesn't have a shot at home, I think that's when you should fear Kyle Shanahan the most. So I think he's going to be able to I really do. I think he's going to be able to put up points on that Lions defense that on all three levels has at least 2 major injuries. They're bad, Sage. I mean, they're fucking bad. That Lions defense is not good. I think the Lions defense is going to I know, but it's because of the Lions offense. I think the Lions offense is going to carve up Nick Sorensen. Nick Sorensen, dead on arrival Monday night. Right when he gets into Levis Stadium, Ben Johnson has already kicked his ass in X's and O's right when he steps on the grass. Okay, so I think that the Lions are going to put up a lot of points. I'm calling for a backdoor cover. I think there's going to be some backdoor cover action. I think it's going to be a situation, Sage, where the Lions are up like 34-24, and the Niners get a touchdown at the end, trying to come back. So I'm going to go 34-31 Lions. I got the Niners covering. Sage, if I saw this line anywhere else in the NFL, my radar would go off. I would bet the other team. So I got to do it when it's on the Niners. This line makes no sense. To all those people who bet the NFL, you've seen lines like this before. You're like, what the fuck is that line? Always bet the side that you didn't think would get a line like that. I'm telling you, it happens all the time.
I got to respect it, man. I mean, I got to respect it.
I have no analytics. So I have no statistics to back it up.
I know. I was trying to look for something like a trend or something. All the trends are in favor of the Lions too. The roster's in favor of the Lions. The rest advantage. I don't know. We'll go with it though. Fuck it.
All right. So we both got the Niners losing. I got them covering. Sage got the Lions in a blowout. But all right, Sage, is it time?
Let's do it.
Let's do it, baby. So as always, we're going to dive into our 4 best bets for Sage. It's week 17, man. Where the fuck did the time go?
I told you, man. Like, you just got to appreciate it. After last week, when I had a bad week, I said, I'm just going to appreciate betting the NFL. Like Kyle Shanahan said, we don't know if we'll be here on Sunday. So just, taking it one day at a time. Just bless, bet the beautiful league that is the NFL. And just before you know it, it's gone, right? As soon as it's here, it's gone. We're going to be betting college basketball, NBA in a couple weeks here. So enjoy it while we have 2 weeks left of the regular season.
So, okay, we're going to enjoy it for the last 2 weeks, Sage. We've been doing this shit for about 11 weeks. Season standings, I'm at 30-14, Sage. I don't want to say that I'm jinxing myself, but I said this shit all year about how hot I am, and I just keep on going, man. I can't stop. I'm 30-14. I'm about, I don't know the calculations right now. You're at 26-17-1.
First draw.
So you're about 3.5 games back of me, Sage. You got to make something happen. Are we gonna get this? Are we gonna continue this into the playoffs, or are we just going regular season?
I think
you're down 3.5 games. I'll give you the option. If you want, you want to be that way and count playoffs, I'm down with it.
I think we should do twofold. We'll cut it in the regular season. We'll do playoffs.
You want to do a double or nothing for the playoffs?
No double or nothing. You could just do 2 separate things.
You're a pussy.
What did you want? I thought that was like giving you the advantage.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine with double or nothing, man. I'm a gambling man. If I win the regular season, I'll give you a shot for your money back in the playoffs. But we're gonna have to double the stakes, baby. That's all.
How much is on this again?
Undisclosed amount, but we'll figure it out.
In the envelope. Maybe a dinner at Joe's. I'll take you out. I'll let you be my girl for the night.
There we go. Appreciate it. I don't know what Pesto would have to say to that, but all right, Sage. I'm just gonna recap my picks from last week. I went 3-1. Sage, my only loss was the first game of the week. I had Broncos. I had the Broncos against the Chargers. I think it was Broncos +3. And Sage, they jumped out to a big old lead. I thought, like I bet them all year, I've always been confident in Bo Nix, Sean Payton. I was like, yeah, Bubba.
Boy, did he fuck you.
I was like, yeah, Bubba, this is fucking exactly how I thought it was going to pan out. No, it wasn't. Justin Herbert, the Chargers came back. They won the game outright, so I lost that one. Then, Sage, I just started humming like I usually do. I had the Ravens against the Steelers. I told you, I said the Steelers are frauds. The Ravens are the best team in the AFC North. They took care of business, won by, I think, at least double digits. Lions Bears. I said I'm laying the 7.5 points with the Lions. I'm not scared about it at all. You know why? I'm going up against your boy Caleb Williams, the bust at the number 1 pick for the Chicago Bears. Caleb Williams played okay. If you look at the stat line, he's becoming the king of garbage time, if you ask me. The Lions had control that entire game. Like we said, they did the fake fumble, threw a touchdown. They were playing with the Bears like they were playing with their own food. That was a win. And then Sage, another -7 that I had to lay down. I laid -7 with the Bengals taking on the Browns. Easy win. There was a little bit of a scare in between, but I said I got Joe Burrow going up against Dorian Thompson-Robinson. All they got to do is win by a touchdown. I'll make that one of my best bets. And it hit, baby. 3-1.
I love it. I got 1, 2, and 1 here. I'll go with the 1 win. Of course, second week in a row, the only win I have is when I'm with Chase. So Lions 6.5 against his boy Caleb Williams. Vikings, I pushed with the -3. Bucks was just a disgrace, -3.5. Never close. Bills -14.5 played probably their worst win of the season. Coming off,
you knew right after the first couple drives of the game that you were not going to hit that -14.
Exactly. I mean, there was a chance, right? It was they got the ball up 10, and then they just did nothing with it. So that was it for that.
Yeah, barely, Sage.
Chase, you had the better week, so the floor's yours here.
Should we start off, Sage? All right, Sage. So for my first pick, it's either you learn or you just repeat the same shit over and over again. I bet against them last week. They burned me. So I'm going with them this week. I'm taking the Chargers -5 against the New England Patriots. Sage,
4.5.
what travels in the NFL?
Defense.
The run game, defense. The Chargers got a whole lot of that. Gus Edwards is out. That hurts my fantasy team. We may get into that a little bit later. But J.K. Dobbins is coming back. And that we've seen that the Chargers run game with J.K. Dobbins in there, a lot different than what we've seen the past couple weeks since they've been struggling. I get it. They're traveling cross country, but I still believe in the Chargers. The Patriots suck. The Patriots are not a good team. I don't know how they put up a good fight against the Bills last week, but
that was more on Buffalo.
They did. They're on a 5-game losing streak. If you look outside of Drake May, the entire roster's awful. Gerard Mayo is a dipshit head coach who should get fired. When you think of Drake May and what they really got there with Drake May, you got to get Gerard Mayo the fuck out of there. I just think the Chargers on every level are better than this team. Okay? They're fighting for a playoff spot. The Patriots have nothing to fight for. There's really nothing the Patriots are fighting for. All I got to lay is 5. I think Chargers by a touchdown at least. I got Chargers as one of my best bets this week.
That's my best bet as well. Sadly.
This motherfucker, dude. Is this what you're trying to do, man?
I swear to God,
you can't beat me, so you just got to ride along with me?
Well, the thing is, I shouldn't be doing this. Is what sucks. I have 5 bets, and I was gonna say in case he takes one, I'll flop. But this was my favorite one, right? You could say it whatever you want. You said it. Harbaugh against May, whatever, and then you have the opposite. You have Gerard Mayo scheming up against that Chargers offense. We said it. They're a great team. They have a culture, but it's dependent on one guy, and I think that guy's J.K. Dobbins. Guess what? He's back. Clearly their best running back. They had not been able to run the ball at all without him. They struggled. They struggled mightily. They have the rest advantage. Chargers going to the East Coast, actually good. I think they're one of the best teams against the spread when traveling from West Coast to East Coast. They have Herbert, right? As much as I love Drake May, he's not Justin Herbert yet. Herbert, with the experience, I got the better defense.
I'm going to say this. Drake May is going to be better than Justin Herbert. I truly believe that. Mark it down right here. Drake May is the fucking guy. Go ahead, Sage. Finish your pick.
I love this, Chase. It just shows you should never write off a guy after his first drive. But
is this a Caleb thing? Like, are you still on Caleb?
You said Drake May's a bust after his first drive. Or no, it wasn't his first drive.
I said he's giving bust vibes. I said he's giving bust vibes, but
check my Twitter. I'll post it. I'll post the text message.
I trust in Drake May now. I'm buying all the stock, baby.
I do too, man. I love Drake May. I said he's my favorite rookie quarterback. Like I love this guy. Though. Not this week. Exactly. Like same thing I said last week with Harbaugh. Or with the Chargers Broncos. I trust Harbaugh against a rookie quarterback. Get that defense inspired. Try and force some turnovers. One thing the Chargers or the Patriots are going to do. One thing Drake May will do. He'll turn the ball over a little. Whether it's Ramondre Stevenson putting it on the ground, Boutte dropping it and then it falling into the defender's hands. Whatever it is. What do the Chargers not do, Chase? They don't turn the ball over. They play
hold on
football,
to the ball, baby. Jim
they
Harbaugh
run it,
staple.
play good defense. I like the Chargers here. I had it at 4.5. I don't know where you got 5, but I had it at -4.5. So
Hey, bro. Hey, if you could provide the line, dude, I'll price match. I'll line match right there. If you want to give us 4.5, I'll take 4.5.
Let's take 4.5. Fuck it.
Are we rolling with that?
Chargers -4.5.
All right, but you go ahead, Sage, with your next pick since you kind of just piggybacked off my pick there.
Fair. All right, Chase. I'm gonna do it to you. I'm going to the slums again. I'm taking the Panthers +8.5. It's tough not to with how shitty the slate is this week. I mean, there's so many terrible games, right? If you had to break it up into what games you want to watch versus what games you kind of have to watch, this is one of those games you just kind of have to watch. We saw this game 4 weeks ago. What happened? The Panthers really should have won. It took a miracle drive out of Baker Mayfield at the end of the game to get them in field goal range, to then get the ball in the second half or in overtime, and then a miracle drive again after it was a Chuba Hubbard fumbled when the Panthers were looking to win the game. We just saw this happen. So why in the fuck are the Bucs almost 9-point favorites? I can't understand it. Divisional game, the Panthers as an underdog since Bryce Young has taken over. They've covered every game. They've covered every game as an underdog since Bryce Young has taken over. Gotta kind of love that. On the road doesn't really matter as much when you're playing a divisional team. They know the Bucs. The Bucs offense struggled against the Panthers the first time they played, minus Bucky Irving, which does scare the life out of me. I think this is a game Bucky could go for 200 and a couple tugs, but I just trust the Panthers to be able to score against that terrible Bucs defense that just gave up 300 whatever yards to Cooper Rush. So give me the Panthers +8.5. I love this pick as well.
So, Sage, I'll be honest, man. I'll be honest, man. If you're going to be making picks like this, I'm going to fucking dust you. Like, you have no shot at coming back against me. I don't know. Are you just like a scorned lover? Did you just pick the Buccaneers last week? You felt so good. Yes. You probably made them your best pick. Then they got fucked by the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football, made you look like a dipshit in front of the entire westbound and down community. So now you're going against them. Now you're trying to kneel them back with the Panthers. This is what I will say. The Panthers have been in one-score games for 6 of the past 7 games. That's not nothing. But the Buccaneers are in a dogfight right now, Sage. They don't got the tiebreaker against the Falcons. They need this one. They're at home. I mean, don't you feel like this is kind of like a letdown spot for the Panthers? And I think the Buccaneers are a good team. I don't think that they're frauds, and what happened against the Cowboys is an example that they're not a good team. I think they just had a down game. I think they bounced back, Sage. I'm on the opposite side of the view here. I'm not making it one of my 4 best bets, but I had 7.5. You had 8.5, but I don't know. I feel like Tampa's the move in this game. I appreciate that Bryce Young has been playing a little bit better, but I don't think he's going to be able to get it done against Tampa. I really don't.
All right. We'll see. But you're not taking it.
I'm not taking it, Sage. Do you want me to get to my next game?
Go for it.
All right. So let me pull it up here. I had to... Because, usually I don't expect guys to pick fucking the Panthers versus the fucking...
I have you off your feet now.
Panthers versus the Bucs, so I had to go back to my other notes. But, Sage, this is kind of tied to our fantasy matchup, which I think for the people we got to get into a little bit at the end of it. So, Sage, in order for me to probably beat you in the fantasy championship, I need my guy. I need my rookie. I need my quarterback to do good. My quarterback's Jane Daniels, baby. I got the Commanders. -3.5 against the Atlanta Falcons.
Whoa, where did you get 3.5?
What are you talking about?
Where did you get 3.5? Hold
on. Do we do a line check? Can we do a line check?
It opened at 6.5 and it got down to 4.5. I think it's sitting at 5.
Could we do a line check? I thought I saw 3.5 today.
No chance.
Hold on. I'm going to do a line check. Sorry. Bad podcasting here.
Yeah, that's terrible podcasting.
No, hold on. You're calling me out. I got to make sure that it's right.
I
got 3.5, Sage. Sage, I got 3.5 on Bovada.
Dude, go off FanDuel or DraftKings like a normal man. What is Bovada?
If you could provide me... Okay, so this is what I'll say. I'll take it at 4.5 too, Sage. I don't even give a fuck. You can't get me off this pick. You can't get me off this pick, motherfucker. But what I think is that even though I'm betting them, I'm saying I'll take 4.5. I'll take 3.5. I really don't know what to think of this team, right? I mean, I love Jaden. I love the offense.
Commanders.
But they are sloppy, right? And the defense really isn't that good. They're 29th in rush D. Probably not what you want when you're going up against Bijan Robinson, who we brought up like the 3 best running backs in the league. You got to say that Bijan's right below there. But, Sage, in all honesty, this is what I'm going to say. It's going to be raining on Sunday in Landover, Maryland, okay? I think that this is the biggest Washington, D.C. football game in the past 10 years. It's on Sunday Night Football. Jane Daniels is the Rookie of the Year. They're going to be ready, man. And on Atlanta side, you got a rookie who I honestly didn't think looked that good in his second start on the road, rainy conditions. I don't like it. I don't like Penix in this game. I'll take Jaden all day. All I got to cover is 3.5. You're saying 4.5. I'm not scared. Give me the Commanders. That's one of my best bets. I think it's probably the best bet of the week.
All right, I got Falcons plus 4.5. We'll go head up here.
Yeah, no wonder you're fucking bitching at me for the 4.5.
Okay,
you want to get you need that extra point. You need that extra point.
The line yesterday was 5.5, and then when I checked this more, I screenshotted it around with timestamps because I knew you'd try and pull this. I had a feeling you'd take the Commanders.
Chat. If the chat could provide a screenshot of what you got to show the time right now, tell us what the line is. I'll abide by that line.
11 a.m. 11 a.m. It was 4.5. And then right now at 5:56 p.m. it is 4.5.
Laura Court, my mother, bless her heart. I swear to God, Sage, on Bovada, I'm seeing 3.5.
Okay, no, don't go up Bovada.
Yeah, why not? Why not, baby? What's wrong with Bovada, man?
No,
one of the biggest sports books in the country. That's reliable.
Stop that right now.
Okay, but you got Falcons as one of your picks.
Yeah, Falcons plus 4.5. I mean, we got to figure out this line, right? I mean, it's everything that you said. I mean, you kind of talked it up, but like, I just think they're gonna be able to run the ball on the Commanders. It's gonna be a rainy day. I think it's gonna come down to the run game, and I think they're gonna just do everything to minimize Penix turning the ball over. I don't think that Commanders defense is good. Chase, what did I say after that win against the Giants? I said it was the Giants, but people aren't paying attention. Like, this Falcons defense is improving. 16
Come
sacks.
on, bro. Come on. What the fuck
sacks.
you talking about? They're not good either.
They're not good. I don't think the Commanders are that good, to be real with you. Like, I don't think they've beat anyone.
But you got to admit that Jaden, I mean, I get that they lost or they beat the Eagles and that Jalen Hurts was out, but putting up around 40 points on that defense is no joke. That offense could light it up.
No, it's no joke. I think it's the same thing that happened with the Bills. Like, I just think it's a letdown spot, big divisional win.
That's fair.
You're basically not really playing for much. You have the 7th seed damn near locked up. Falcons playing for the division. The division's well in play. And I don't know, man. Like, it's two rookie quarterbacks. I don't trust either coach that much. I guess like I'm gonna give the Falcons defense somewhat of an advantage. You got Jesse Bates. You have a defensive line that's humming. Dome team going to the rain. Does it scare me? Fuck yeah. That's like kind of why I had some, withdrawals. I had this as my 4th bet, but since you're taking the Commanders, I brought it up now. I'm going Falcons plus 4.5. I don't know. I just think it's going to be a close game. I think the Commanders win. I'm thinking 24-20 Commanders. I get it right by the hook.
I think it's going to fall close to the number. We have a great comment from our boy Max. So two out of 9 of the top books have action on 3.5. The rest have 4, 4.5. Make the line 4 and split the difference. I feel like that's fair, Sage. We want to just go with 4?
Yeah, 4's fine with me.
All right, so I got Commanders -4. Sage has got the Dirty Birds.
Wait, hold on. Wait, 2 of the 9. So 2 of 9 have 3. The rest have 4. So 7 of 9 have 4, 4.5.
Motherfucker, you can't take 4. You said 4.5. You can't be taking credit for 4.
What do you mean? I'm taking credit for 4.
So you're basically saying that I only have 2 out of 9, but you're saying that you have 7 out of 9 as your argument because of 4.
Who is Max Steins? Why do we trust this guy either? Why would we trust this random guy?
Seems like a good guy. I trust him.
Okay, fair.
But all right, so I know we kind of done a couple picks in a row. So that's 3 of your picks, right?
Max also. What is this? What is this?
I don't know.
What even you don't know?
I don't know. Do you want to split the difference and be a man, or do you want to be a bitch and like deal with semantics?
All right,
it's your choice. It's your choice. We got the chat has spoken. They said take 4.
All right, thank you for the choice. All right, Falcons plus 4.5. Decided.
All right, so that's your 3rd pick, right?
3rd pick. Go ahead.
All right, so I'll go with my 3rd pick and Sage. I'm not getting off them one bit. I still love them to death. I'm taking my Broncos. I'm taking my Broncos +3.
I have plus 3.5. Bengals. Where are you getting the? I have plus. I need to start setting the lines again. Okay, I have plus 3.5 here.
You have 3.5.
Yeah.
Okay, chat, look that up. But I'm taking the Broncos here, Sage. I mean, Denver has a legit defense. That's still the case. I know that they gave up a little points against the Chargers, but you're going on the road on a Thursday night. That's not an easy thing for any defense, but they're still legit. We've been saying that Riley Moss, being injured for the past 3 games, that is a big factor. They gave up 32 to the Browns. He's missed 3 games. In a couple of those games, they gave up 32 to the Browns. They almost lost to the Colts. If some other bullshit happened in that game, they probably lose. They gave up 34 last week to the Chargers. This is a different defense without Riley Moss when you got to put in the shitty third-string guy. So I trust that defense to come back. And when I look at the Bengals, I get it. You have Joe Burrow. I mean, he's a cheater and can't be trusted, but the guy is fucking slinging the ball. I love Joe Burrow when it comes to, I think if the Bengals make the playoffs, he should generally be considered for MVP. I really do think that. But the thing is that they have one of the worst defenses in the league, right? So when I'm looking at it, I get that since he's at home. I get that they're maybe even the hungrier dog, but the Broncos have a great D-line. Cincinnati's O-line hasn't been able to protect Joe Burrow all year. They're ranked 30th. The defense, like I said, is awful. Sean Payton's going to do enough to score points on this team. I got the better team. I think the Broncos are generally the better team. They're getting 3 points, so I'm going to take it all day, man. I'm going Broncos +3.
Yeah, I mean, I have it +3, +3.5, whatever. I think they went outright. Like I
said,
do we have?
So you agree on 2 and you disagree on 1?
Yeah, we're
okay.
pretty tight here.
It's okay.
This is tough because the one I was going to flip is the Falcons, but I like that I'm going head up with you. So I'm not going to flip this one because I do like this one a lot. Listen, man, I mean, dogs haven't been hitting at a high clip this year. It makes me nervous, but what am I like? Who am I to believe that this Bengals team's any good? They should have lost to the Cowboys. They beat Dorian Thompson Robinson off just like bullshit red zone turnovers, right? It would have been a lot closer. This defense is still awful. T. Higgins' status is up in the air. Without T. Higgins, they're a completely different offense. Their run game comes down to just Chase Brown, and then it's just Jamar Chase or bust. What do I have on the other side? I have the better coach. I have the better defense, and I have an offense that I think could keep pace, and I know that they could keep pace against that defense. So I like them in all 3 sides of the ball here. Like I love them in every step, every level. I like the Broncos. I mean, I saw it against the Chargers. They can move the ball. When the offense is humming, they could get you on the run. I mean, Chase likes to make jokes, but like that Estime, pretty good. Not a bad back, right? Like
he's not terrible. They got a little 3-headed monster, but Estime's not bad.
Yeah, Jaleel McLaughlin, he could catch out of the backfield. Javonte Williams, I mean, he's as hot and cold as they come. I like what they have. I think Sutton's pretty good. Mims down in the field, I think he's going to be able to expose this Bengals secondary, and I just think they're going to be able to score. And I think if T. Higgins doesn't play, we're just getting this line at tremendous value. I expect it to drop below the 3 if that's the case, the 2.5. And I'm just going to take the Broncos thing. They can win outright. And if not, I get the points. So I love where this is at.
You are what your record says you are, Sage. I mean, Bill Parcells said it. The Bengals are 7-8.
Extra rest
the Broncos honestly were put in a shitty spot last week. If they won, I think they would have been what, 10-5?
10-5, yeah.
So the Broncos are a good team. You're giving me 3 points. I don't give a shit what Joe Burrow's doing. I don't get if they have to win the game to make it to the playoffs. I'm taking the Broncos. I've been taking them all year. I'm 10 toes down on the Broncos, baby. Never going to get off of them.
They win this. They're in the playoffs, so there's a lot to play for here.
All right, so you got all 4 of your picks. I'm going to make my last pick, Sager. I'm not going to lie. This isn't a popular pick, man. Not a lot of people are going with this pick. I'm taking the Vikings at home, +1. Do you want to dispute that line? What line are you getting right now?
It's -1.5.
For the Vikings.
Vikings are -1.5.
Shut the fuck up. Are you serious?
I'm being dead ass.
Okay, I'll take it anyway. What?
This is a disaster.
This is a disaster, but all right. We're gonna decipher this at the end, but I'm gonna take the Vikings anyway, man. I think that they're the better team, but I get it with the Packers. But the reality is that they really don't have anything to play for in this game. I know that it's a division matchup. They're trying to play their best ball heading into the playoffs. All they could really be is a 5 seed. They could only finish second in the NFC North. The Vikings are tied with the Lions. We all know. I mean, we talked about with the Lions the entire fucking episode. They're trying to get the 1 seed. The Lions are trying to get the 1 seed. In all honesty, they know that they have to beat the Packers because they have to assume that the Lions are going to beat the 49ers on Monday night. I mean, why wouldn't they? So in order for the Vikings to potentially get the 1 seed, they need to beat the Packers. What do you think of when you think of the Packers and how they've been moving the ball? I know that Jordan Love's been playing a little bit better, but it's through that run game. It's through Josh Jacobs. This Vikings defense is the second-rated rush defense in the league, okay? Brian Flores has been scheming it up all year. They have a great defense. They're set up to stop an offense like Green Bay. You got the Vikings at home, too. We've been saying it the entire year. Minnesota, that stadium is an unquestioned home field advantage. I get that a lot of people love the Packers, but I love the Vikings matchup. You know what, dude? In all honesty, I'd probably say that I'd take the Packers on a neutral field. I probably would. The Packers have been looking good. But the fact is that you got the hungrier dog with the Vikings. They're at home. So I'm going to take the Vikings, man. I got the Vikings -1, -1.5, +1, +1.5. I don't give a fuck. I'm confident all my picks, 10 toes down.
I mean, the line moving from 1 to 1.5. I mean, I don't think it makes if they lose by 1, then it makes. But I don't think that's going to be the case.
I mean, that tells you the sharps are on the Vikings. I feel if the line's moving that much.
You brought up a point, right? You said, "What do I think about how the Packers have been moving the ball?" Is that what you said?
I said when you think of the Packers offense, right? It's through that run game. You're most scared of that run game for me, at least. I don't know.
I think it's a bit of a fugazi. I mean, honestly, like they put up 34 against the Saints. The Saints defense is awful. The Saints are an awful team. You put up 30 against the Seahawks. The Seahawks, I mean, other than Caleb Williams, everyone's moving the ball on them. Seahawks defense is awful, right? 31 against the Lions. We just went into depth about how terrible and banged up that Lions team is. 30 against the Dolphins. 38 against the Niners. 20 against the Bears, right? Why does that stand out to you? Divisional game on the road. 20 points. A team that knows you. Right? Kind of your only real challenge on defense. They've been beaten up on bad defenses. I love this side. I genuinely like this side. I told you earlier, I said I had a flip pick, right? I said I had a flip pick. My flip pick was the Vikings -1.5. I love this side. We saw this game. They beat the shit out of the Packers. The scoreboard could indicate it was a lot closer. Minnesota was in control.
I think they were up, 28-0 at half?
Yeah.
Start in Lambeau. In fucking Lambeau.
With Jordan Love, they dominated them. Now you're bringing them in a dome in front of your home team. You got to win the game. Jettas is going to eat. Scared of it. I think
you trust that Vikings offense, right? I mean, Darnold.
Of course.
Jefferson, O'Connell. I'm not scared of the Packers defense. I don't give a fuck.
I mean, the thing is, like, right, when you point to these teams, the Vikings have the better defense. The Vikings have the better run game, right? It's more up in the air now. I mean, the Packers run game has come along strong. So maybe it's a toss up. Vikings have the better receivers. Vikings have the better O-line. So the only thing you're really pointing to is the Packers have the better, I mean, and the coach, I think is you call it even. Vikings have the better quarterback. Do they really though? Like, do the Packers really have the better quarterback? Like that's the only thing
I'm still a little bit suspect on Jordan Love. I think he's been playing good, but
what what is there to say that he's better than Sam Darnold this year? So I really like this side. I think this line should be a lot higher. I don't know. I guess there's just like kind of buying into what the Packers have been doing lately, but
the Packers blazing has been crazy the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's insane.
Everybody's been taking their shot to fucking, you know what, the Packers dicks. It's crazy. Yeah,
it doesn't really make too much sense to me. They've beat up on bad teams, 49ers included, and then they beat up on a bad Lions defense and lost. I just think that this is where they come back down to earth. Like you said, they're not really playing for much now. They basically have that 6 seed locked up. So
they can't win the division.
Yeah, they can't win the division. So this is where it starts and ends, right? You maybe start to look a little better, but this is it for them. And then I just think the Vikings need it. So I like the Vikings here, man. I like this pick.
All right. So we agreed on what? What was it? We have two of the same picks. We went head to head, and then we have a couple separate games, right?
Yeah, but I don't have this game.
Yeah. Okay. So you were disagreeing with me, but you have a separate fourth pick.
Yeah. I have a separate fourth pick.
All right, babe. So that's gonna be it. That's the best bet for Week 17, Sage. I don't know how you're going to make up the ground on me, dude, when you're betting all the same games as me, but who knows? Maybe you'll get the playoffs. Maybe you'll get the head-to-head on me in the playoffs and get that money back somehow. But, Seder, what do you want to do to end the show today, man? I feel like we could go with a little bit of a Q&A if we got people in the crowd. I think we got about 30 listeners right now. So, yeah, so send some questions in the chat. Sage, you want to dive into the fantasy matchup at all?
Yeah, we could. Nothing about Purdy's contract. We're done with that.
Fuck Purdy's contract. Yeah, if you have a question about Purdy's contract, listen to our last fucking 10 episodes. We'll talk about it. But Sage, why don't you share the screen? Can we try the screen share? So I'll kind of preview what's going on. So my team's been badass the entire year in fantasy football. I'm 14-1. I have the
best team we've ever had.
I had the highest scoring season of all time. I think I had the highest scoring game of all time last week in the semifinal. I've never won a championship. This guy across the stage from me right now, he's had 4. He's been my bugaboo. I think he's beat me 2 or 3 times in the playoffs when I had badass teams. We're matched up in the championship, Sage. Are we figuring out that screen share? How are we feeling?
I don't think I could share it. I could try.
Yeah, try it out. Try it out. May as well. What the fuck?
Yeah. Let's see it here.
I mean, if we're just talking about our teams without them seeing what's going on, I feel like that would be fucking stupid.
Hold on. I need to sign into my fantasy account here. This might take a minute.
You're not signed into ESPN right away, man? What's wrong with you?
I never go on here.
On what? Google fucking Chrome?
I only use my phone, yeah.
You've never hopped on the laptop a little bit to take a look at your fantasy team like during the day or something at work?
No.
Man,
we're figuring this out. We might need to reset a password here.
Didn't we have this all set up last time?
Not for my fantasy account.
But you could just screen share, no? On fucking Chrome?
No, but I need to log into my account. Do you understand? To access my team.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna try it out. I got it.
I got the thing. Terrible podcasting.
You know what's crazy? We haven't lost a viewer yet. We haven't lost a viewer yet, Sage. So I guess the people love it. The people love the chaos, man.
All right, let's see it.
Come on, baby. Work for me. Work for me, baby.
Oh my God. I logged into the wrong account.
What the fuck are you doing? Hold on. It's all right. It's all right. I'm sorry, baby. I didn't mean it. You gotta hit present. Hold on.
We'll do it live.
Fuck it. Fuck it. We'll do it live. All right, hold on. Share screen. I think I got it. Hold on. Screen 1, screen 2. Give me a second.
Yeah, you do the little dual screen, so it's easier for you.
Let's see.
Calls out all your naughty browsers.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. Give me a sec. Are you still not able to figure it out?
Well, yeah, I could figure it out. I thought you were doing it, but while Chase is basically going into this, yeah, I could give it from my perspective, right?
Yeah, give it from your perspective. I gave the loser perspective. Why don't you talk about the 4-time champion perspective?
So basically, we've had the league coming into this year. Max, correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is the 11th year of the league, or is this the 10th year of the league? I think it's 11.
I think it's 11.
Yeah, 11th year of the league. Going into last year, I made the championship last year. 4-0 in championships. I lost to Gabe. As you've probably heard, the guy on the show, the guy who bets teams, doesn't bet lines. Not really, not really the most knowledgeable, doesn't really know ball. Has a nicotine addiction. And just, he got me. So it's year 13, according to Max. Wow. Okay. So year 13. So in 12 years going into last year, 4-0, Gabe. But going into last year, 4-0, I lose. I allow Gabe to get his second championship, or 1.5 championship. So his second championship. So it's a bounce back year for me. I've dealt with injuries, unlike Chase. I mean, my roster has been fluctuating left and right. Lost Ayuk for the year, in like week 5.
I'm gonna let you finish, but that's some bullshit. But go ahead.
What?
I haven't been dealing with injuries.
I mean, not as badly, right? I
lost my number 1 fucking running back 2 weeks ago. What the fuck you talking about? I haven't been dealing with injuries.
Lost.
I just keep chugging on, baby. Next man up.
Lost Jonathan Taylor for 5 weeks. Lost Mike Evans for 5 weeks. And that's my team. We're pulling it up right now, but basically just, battling. My roster, or my schedule, I think isn't my record, and what I've done throughout the year through my schedule isn't as good as what my roster is. I think I'm the highest scoring team, other than Chase, obviously, the last 5 weeks by like a mile. So my team's caught on lately. And I think I have a 19-point cushion on Chase. So it's Chase's unstoppable team. He has the players, but I have the coaching and experience. So that's what it's going to come down to. Is his players better than me as a coach, basically? Or am I just that good of a coach, that good of a roster manager where I could, whip my way around this team? Chase looks lost in thought here.
Trying to get set up, but all right. So I'm just going to pull it over here. But you brought up your team a little bit, Sage. I mean, when it comes to my team, I've been a railroad train that's been just mollywhopping everybody. Like I said, I'm 14-1.
Only lost to the Sacco, which is
these
hilarious.
Fucking idiots in my league. Guys, I was the 11th pick. I got Jamar Chase. On the way back, I got Justin Jefferson.
You were not the 11th pick, brother.
They've been leading my team. They've been leading my team the entire year. I picked Jaden Daniels. I said, I believe in the guy from Washington. I think he's a better quarterback than Caleb Williams. I took him. I took a flyer on the 12th round.
That was me.
Got Jaden Daniels. He's been a top 5 fantasy quarterback the entire year. I have James Cook, who in all honesty, he should be getting more run for the Bills. That guy's a stud. They don't give him the ball as much.
They're holding him off a bit.
I had Alvin Kamara. Like I said, he's out. He's a top 5 running back. I have Bucky Irving. I mean, I've hit on 3. I think I've hit on 3 or 4 rookie Sage. I had
4.
Jane Daniels, Brock Bowers, Brian Thomas, Bucky Irving. I mean, Sage, in my bets, I can't miss. Fantasy football on that day in the draft at our buddy Brian's house. I couldn't miss.
Shout out the Grealishes.
Like I said, I got Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Terry McLaurin, Brian Thomas as my wide receivers. I got Brock Bowers, who's probably the next great tight end in NFL history. I got him in his rookie year. So I'm feeling confident. Caleb Williams, Sage's boy, really fucked me good. He fucked me good, man. Sage played, I think he already told you guys, but he played Seattle D against Chicago. Chicago couldn't even muster up more than 3 points. I think they got, 7 sacks, Sage?
7 sacks.
So he put up a 19 on me. He's projected to beat me right now, but I'm 14-1, man. I've had the best team all year. I got faith. Baby. So I think we're going to win it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Chase is going to win it as well. I mean,
don't do this. No, Sage, don't do this. Don't do this pussy shit.
What? I'm being serious. I'm just giving
you gotta have faith in your team. You can't lay down the sword when you're up 19 points. You can't be doing that, man.
Chase, stop. Chase, some background. Chase 3 weeks ago was lobbying that we get rid of fantasy playoffs because it's just meaningless, and
that's bullshit. I said that there's an argument that it makes no sense.
Chase, okay, anyways. And then Chase bitched for like 24 hours to change the waiver system just to pick up the defense that I dropped. All right,
Chad, if you're listening, does it make any sense?
I agree with Chase, by the way. I agree with Chase here.
Does it make any sense that the week of the championship, say I'm 14-1, Sage is, 9-6, he barely got into the fucking dance. Why should he get a waiver pick over me just because I had a better record all season? Why does he immediately get above me? That doesn't make sense. I wanted a coin flip. Sage and the rest of the fucking crooked league who just want to see me go down. They don't want to see the ex-commissioner get a championship. They don't want to see they want to see the 07 Patriots lose in the Super Bowl. That's what they want to see. They don't want to give me anything, so they didn't change the rule. Sage was able to pick up somebody, but
I picked up DJ Dallas, who Chase didn't have a claim in for.
Yeah, but that's basically the situation, man. We're going head-to-head in the fantasy football championships. I'm feeling good. I'm down 19, so I can't be feeling too fucking good. But you know what, man? I got faith in my team. This is my favorite fantasy team of all time, by far. I haven't gotten a ring yet, so if this is the team that I win my first ring with, Sage, it'd be a pleasure.
You will.
It'd be a pleasure.
I told Chase, I said, I'm rooting for him. I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like, Chase is one of my good buddies. I know he's never experienced it. It's a hell of a feeling.
Don't fucking. You're such a bitch. You're such a puss. You're such a mother.
I'm hoping. I was considering picking up a different quarterback, but I want him to do it.
All right, how about this, Sage? Mount Rushmore, your favorite fantasy players that you ever had on your rosters.
This one's easy for me. Are we going?
I'll let the 4-time champ go first.
Are we going season? Do you want to do it by season, or do you want to just do all-time players?
If you could go season,
it might be hard.
Season.
It might be hard to go season, actually, but
if you go season, go season.
I'll try and because I can't remember specifically the year, but I'll try and go. So I think it was his second year or his third year. Todd Gurley, by far my favorite. That's
an all-timer, yeah.
That was the best player I ever had. I think it was DeAndre Hopkins his second year or his third year. I had them on the same team, and that was magical. Had those two. I'm not gonna lie to you, Josh this year has been so much fun. He's put up like 50 for me once. He put up 60 for me, broke the record. I'll throw him up there. I've had Josh 3 times now, so I got to show him some love. Dude, the fourth one's tough. I mean, I had Gronk the year. He had I think it was 18 touchdowns, which was awesome from I think I had my tight end outscored everyone else's by almost 150 points because tight ends, there was such a premium on tight ends back in the day because there was only 2 or 3 that mattered. I had Brady a few times, which I'm a big Brady
motherfucker.
fan.
It's around Mount Rushmore. You only got 4, man. Fucking make a decision.
I know, dude. The fourth
make
one's
a
tough.
decision.
I mean, just sprung up on me. I'll go Brady just because I love Brady. So Tom Brady, my second championship. Josh Allen, Todd Gurley, DeAndre Hopkins.
So I think this one's actually pretty easy for me, Sage. I mean, let's see, but number one for sure. Jamal Charles. I had Jamal Charles the year where I think he was playing the Raiders in about week 16. It was the semifinals for the fantasy playoffs. he put up 60 points. So he was the number one running back all year. I drafted him the next year. He was top 3 again. Jamal Charles, probably my favorite fantasy player of all time. Then I think at number 2 stage, I got to go with Jamar Chase. I had him his rookie year. Where I think I drafted him in like the 13th round. He was a rookie coming out of LSU. Had a couple drops in the preseason stage. Everybody was loving this guy until he dropped a couple balls in the preseason. Then everybody got off of him, right? I mean, no one wanted to draft him. I picked him in the 13th round. I think he was a top 5 overall receiver. He was a top 5 overall receiver. I got Jamar again this year. He's going to win the Triple Crown for receivers. So the 2 years I've had him, he's been a stud. I got him from the jump in his rookie year. So Jamar Chase has got to be number 2. Number 3, I got to say Lamar, man. I had him last year during that MVP year. I think he was the number 1 quarterback in fantasy. Maybe it was Josh. Do you know?
You didn't have Lamar's MVP year, did you?
Yeah, so I had Lamar last year during his MVP year.
Oh, last year.
Not the first one. I wish I had him during the first one, but I had him last year, man. And
the runner-up was Dak.
What?
Dak was the runner-up MVP. Is that what you asked?
No. Well, Lamar Jackson was the MVP last year.
Yes.
And I had him last year, so I'm saying I had him. I'm saying, was he the number 1 overall fantasy quarterback last year? He had to be, right?
No, Josh was.
Okay, so Lamar was 2, but in all honesty, man, when you got Lamar on your team, nothing better than sitting down on a Sunday. You see Lamar rush for like 85 yards. That's all going to your fantasy team. So I got Lamar at number 3. And then, you know what? Number 4, man, I got Shady McCoy. I had Shady McCoy one year when he was on the Eagles. I had him during that snow game. I think that was in the fantasy playoffs. I had him a couple times while he was on the Bills, a couple top 10 seasons. So, I mean, who doesn't love Shady McCoy? Shady McCoy is the fucking man.
Yeah,
so.
I had him on my championship team 3 or 4 years ago.
All right, calm down. But so that's my 4. I got Jamar Chase, Jamal Charles, Lamar, and who did I just say?
Jamal Charles, Lamar, Jamar, and Shady
McCoy. That's gonna be my Mount
Rushmore. The guy you just said.
He's on my Mount Rushmore. I love LaShawn McCoy. He was the fucking man, no doubt.
Do you love him as a TV personality?
I think he's funny as fuck. You know?
Shut up.
Dude, I think he's funny, man. I like
Dak
that
Prescott
entire show.
Is ass.
The only guy I don't like on that show is Emmanuel Ocho. I think that guy's actually a
psychopath. They're not on the same show. Oh yeah, they are. They moved. Wait, they're not on the same show anymore. The Facility, right?
Yeah, is that not the same show?
No, they moved it. So they took over for they have an hour slot now. Pacific time, 10 to 11.
No, you're tripping. You're tripping, bro.
Yeah, Speak is his own thing. But yeah. LaShawn and Emmanuel moved to what's it called? The Facility. It's LaShawn, Ocho, Chase Daniels, and who's that receiver from the Packers? Not Greg Jennings, the other guy. God damn it. He's on FS1.
James Jones.
Yeah, James Jones. It's those 4. Those 4 are on. I haven't watched a minute of it. I just see like the clips that when it's like Shady. It's like the media circuit. It's like Gilbert Arenas, LaShawn McCoy, Jeff Teague, and then who else? I think that's it. Like those 3. It's like their podcasts only go viral for saying like the most ridiculous shit like on the internet. If you ever see like a headline from like NBA Central and it starts with like Jeff Teague says or Gilbert Arenas, you just know it's gonna be the most outlandish.
Gilbert Arenas is my least favorite sports personality. That guy is a fucking.
He's just bad for it. He's just bad for it, man.
Well, like, dude, you know that he doesn't believe anything coming out of his fucking ears.
Credit to Shannon Sharp.
His mouth. Sorry.
Because Shannon like partnered with him for what's it called?
For Nightcap. Yeah, it was him. It was him and Ocho, right?
So he had Gilbert Arenas on for basketball, and then after like a month of it, he cut him. He's like, I just can't deal with this guy. Like, I'd rather just have Ocho do NBA. So I don't think he's been on his show anymore. And then Gilbert has his club, whatever. I don't know what it's called, or maybe that's Jeff Teague.
Is it like Gilbert's Arena or something?
Yeah. I just see the clips. Like I said, like I don't really pay attention to it at all.
But all right, man. All right,
Chase. Honestly, how confident are you in this weekend? Because I'm not confident at all.
Well, I mean, man, I was feeling pretty confident until Caleb Williams threw up a stinker and gave you a 19-0 lead on me. I feel like
Caleb. Is Caleb your least favorite player?
Yeah,
ever?
like if I'm confident, it's like, okay, are you confident if I take away 20 points from you? It's like not as confident. I mean, so basically now you got to think that I had to beat you by 20 to have a chance now.
Well, your defense could go off against that Jets team that can't score the ball.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, dude, in all honesty, maybe the chat could help me out here. I'm 90% sure, but so I got Bills D going up against the Jets. It's going to be a fucking windstorm. I got 45-year-old Aaron Rodgers on ayahuasca that I'm playing against. I feel like that's a great matchup, but also I got the Raiders playing the Saints. The Saints just got shut out. But can I trust the Raiders? For my first fantasy championship, can I possibly put my faith in Antonio Pierce and that Raiders defense, which is awful? No Max Crosby, so I don't think I can. I think I'm just going to roll with Bills D, hope that Aaron Rodgers doesn't find the fountain of youth and light them up. That's basically what I'm going to do, man.
Chase, go with what got you here, right? Like, you just can't.
Don't be giving me advice when you're going up against me.
I hate
that shit. No, I hate that shit.
I dropped the Steelers. They're playing the Chiefs. But yeah, I mean, you could point to the defense, and other than that, I'm at a disadvantage everywhere else. I think even quarterback. I mean, like Chase said, like that windstorm in Buffalo is going to be no joke. Like, I think it's going to be a James Cook game, or maybe a Ray Davis game, but they're going to be running the fuck out of the ball.
If it's a Ray Davis game, I'll riot. James Cook is so much better than Ray Davis. It's not even close.
I think Ty Johnson's the best of the three.
Okay. But you want to put that? You want to put that in writing? Do we want to? I mean, somebody clip that. That Ty Johnson's the best running back on the Bills right now. I mean, what a take.
Are we going yards per carry or yards per touch? He's the best receiver for sure, and I think he fits well with Josh. Is he actually the best? No. James Cook's the best of both worlds, but maybe they want to save him. Like you said, they're basically locked into that 2 seed unless they basically choke like super bad and the Ravens come alive. I mean, I got my 2 other running backs are banged up. I mean, James Conner and Dobbins playing through knee injuries. They're probably both going to, I mean, they are going to be splitting carries. So if my team scores 100, I consider it a win, basically. Like, we're fighting an uphill battle here.
All right. So Sage is fighting that battle. Sage is fighting the battle where he's negging his own team, trying to get a rise out of them, trying to make it seem like I have nothing to win, because if I lose, it's like a collapse. If I win, that's what should have happened. Clear narcissist move, and Sage has just proven himself to be what we all thought he was. We are who we thought he was.
Be honest.
What?
You know that's what it is, though.
I can't be confident, Sage. I've been in the ass so many times. I haven't even had a.
That's the only reason why. That's the only reason why you're not confident.
I've always gotten my heart broken, man. I'm like a rape victim when it comes to fucking fantasy football. I mean,
Max, bleep that out. Bleep that out.
No, but in all honesty, man, like I'm just scared of the worst thing happening. I got PTSD all over the place with fantasy.
Just say
so I can't ever feel confident. I can't ever, what?
Just say you've been through trauma. We're trying to be child friendly. My friend who has a kid who will go unnamed says he plays this while he's in the car with his kids.
He plays. Oh, who?
I can't just drop his name.
Do we want to throw out a name?
I'll drop a name. Do you know Max the other day told me he said he doesn't like when his name is brought up in the podcast. So I just did it again there, and it ends here, Max. I'm sorry. Max Steins. So I act like I didn't know you earlier.
All right, Sage. I mean, it's Friday night, man. What are you about to do? It's already 6:30. Are we getting a drink? Are we getting an after drink?
Yeah, I was just so my boy Remo, you know Remo. So I was gonna hit him up.
Yeah, I know Remo. He's watching Succession. He just started Succession, like 5 feet behind me.
So I was thinking,
what's up with people starting shows like 2 years after the fact that the show ends? I mean, I get it, but like,
Chase, you a big Squid Games guy?
I was thinking about starting up again. I'll be honest. Last time Squid Games was on, I think I had the fucking flu, so I just flew by it in 3 days. I mean, it was okay.
Was that a pun?
What?
You said I had the flu, so I flew by it. Was that like an intentional joke?
No. My jokes are a lot better than that, Sage. I didn't even know that I said that, but no, it just flew by, man. I think I got it done within a day and a half. Again. In all honesty, it was a good show, but that motherfucker with the mask, fuck that dude. Did you watch it, Sage?
Season 1, yeah, of course. And he
the dude running the game,
his brother at the end,
shooting his little brother, the fucking cop who was sneaking in.
That's what
he's gonna be alive. That's my prediction. He's alive.
He's alive. Yeah, that's how they start off season 2. Is he's alive.
Hold on, why are we dropping spoilers when it just got dropped yesterday?
Well, I mean, it's just like the first thing you're gonna see. It's not like it's a big reveal.
Is he really alive?
Yeah, he's alive.
That's good, because when I thought he got popped. When I thought he got popped,
when he fell off the side of the cliff, you knew they're gonna keep him alive.
Yeah, and you really didn't know, right? Like, they didn't give confirmation. They didn't like show you his bloody body in the water. You're like, okay, this guy could be coming back. This guy could be coming back a little bit.
Dude, the theme song's like super catchy.
I mean, who did the rap beat over it? I feel like that's a good rap beat, right?
Central C.
Was that Central C?
No, I just made it up. I have no clue. Sounds like
I feel like I heard one song with the Squid Game rap, but you know what I kind of hate though, Sage, with these Netflix shows and movies? These shows get overrated. Like, you're only going to hear about Squid Game for the next 2 months. Everyone's going to be talking about it. You're going to go into work on Monday. It's like, oh, did you hear about Squid Game? It's a good show. It's not a great show. It shouldn't be something that is the water cooler conversation for every office across fucking America and South Korea.
I kind of agree, but
that's just me.
It was just different, right? It was different. I don't know if it came out during COVID or right after COVID, so everyone just watched it. You know, sometimes those shows, like, they just pick up steam and you just see every Tuesday or whatever the episode comes out. People are tweeting about it. People are live tweeting about it. I mean, Game of Thrones, right? It was like a holiday when a new episode came out. Everyone wants to be in the know. Everyone's saying this is the craziest thing ever. You see the clips going viral. So everyone starts to watch, and then it becomes like, okay, my nightly routine, I'm going to go watch Squid Games. So when you go to work the next day, you just say like, oh, how was your Friday? Be like, oh, I just watched Squid Games. Like, what did you do? Like, have you seen it? So that's how it kind of picks up steam.
Sage, how down bad would you have to be to enter a Squid Game?
How down bad would I have to be?
Like, how much debt? How much debt would you have to be in to be like, fuck it? Like, I'm gonna try the Squid Game thing out. Maybe like, okay, I'm gonna say this. You're divorced. You're divorced. You have a daughter, but you never see her. This is just hypothetical. You're divorced, right?
It sounds like a dream life to me.
No, this isn't targeted at anybody that I know, but you're divorced. Your wife took half of your shit. The kids, they don't like you. You never see them. And you're in how much debt? How much would you have to be in debt to get into Squid Game?
Probably like a couple $100.
That's it?
I have faith in myself.
$100?
I think
what do you have, a death witch?
I think I have good luck.
Get a minimum wage job. You'll get that in like 2 days, man.
No, I just think I have good luck with this shit. I feel like I'd be able to.
Give me a number. Give me a realistic number.
Say like I'm in debt. I mean, bro, like I'd rather just shoot myself. Like if I'm in debt $100,000.
So you wouldn't even take the chance of Squid Game. You would just off yourself at that point.
Yeah, probably.
Also, I don't know. Is this okay for YouTube's guidelines to be talking about?
Bro. Like I said, bro, people watch this with their kids.
I would say, you know what, man? I feel like if I was like 2 mil in debt, and like my entire personal life, like marriage, fell down beside me, it'd be like, yeah, fuck it, I'll give it a try, man. I can play.
He's trying to chase something at that point. You seen the feeling.
These are some sick motherfuckers though in this Squid Game, like the gambling guys, the dudes who are like playing the virtual. If you're playing virtual, gangsters. If you don't have a job and you're playing virtual ponies and like you're
virtual horse racing.
If you're betting your life on that, you're a sick fuck and you need help.
Chase, go to Vegas and then go downstairs in the lobby. People actually fucking do this shit, and it happens in our own country.
So I get why people would like the horse races, because like you're going out to the track, right? It smells good. You got the grass, you got the horses. They're fucking majestic beasts. I get why they'd be into that. But the virtual horse racing, you're a stone cold addict at that point.
Yeah, bro. There's people who are down bad. Like I'll play sometimes. I mean, in my earlier time, I'll play like roulette and I'll do the no spin. I'll just do like the instant spin.
Oh, you just like instantly find the answer to whether you won
exactly.
or lost.
And then it feels fixed. So there's that. Say shut up and dribble.
Shut up and talk about sports. So what is this going to be? Is this going to be something where it's like every week there's a new episode, or like
I think they dropped
next
the whole
episode
season.
Today?
I think the Koreans don't fuck around. They just drop it all at once. They just drop the whole thing. There's no suspense in Korea. Here it is. This is our show.
But you said there was only one episode yesterday.
No, I only watched the first episode is what I said.
Did they have the option to get all the other episodes going?
Yeah, I think there was all 7.
Shit, bro, I might start that today. But hold on. We brought up Remo, and then we got into the Squid Game combo. We getting a drink after this or what?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to probably go get ready and head up to the city, see what Remo's about, see what everyone's doing.
Wink twice if you're lying to me right now and you're just doing it to the stream.
No, I swear. I've
been
caged up. Yeah, I've been caged up. I was just trying to think. It's 6:30. Had some McDonald's earlier. I've had McDonald's 4 times in the past week. And then
that's a you issue, bro. Why? Like after the 4th time, aren't you like, dude, like I need to get my shit together?
No, that's a me solution right there. That's a win. That's a W week.
Is that how you deal with the family stress? You're just like you sneak in a McDonald's meal like at the end of every day?
I've been exploring the menu. So I went double quarter pounder with cheese on Christmas Eve. I got it.
Did you just say you're experimenting with the McDonald's menu?
Yeah, I've been trying around, filet-o fish here and there if I'm feeling a little spicy. It's good, man. It's good. I've yet to have a miss on
I'm not
McDonald's menu.
anti fillet of fish. Like, I mean, I never hit Mickey D's, but I'll hit a fillet of fish every once in a while.
I'm gonna start calling it McDonald's.
Why?
I don't know. Just sounds cooler. I've been calling it McDonald's.
McDick's? You're a
No,
McDick's guy. I feel like you've always referenced it as McDick's.
Like people in college who were like, "Oh, let's hit Sevy's." Just call it 7-Eleven. Just be a normal adult.
Sevy's?
Yeah, here, sort of got Sevy's.
That's stupid. Sevy's is stupid,
we should cut
man.
this.
Just hit 7-Eleven. But all right, Sage.
Shout out
see
the
you
stream.
in the city. We'll grab a beer or two. But yeah, to everybody who's listening, man, we love you guys. We appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, comment. Sage, where else could they find us?
Find us in our socials. It'll be in the bio. Thank you for hanging out on Friday night. If you're in the city, hit us up, catch us, and probably come back on what?
Well, I don't know. You're going to the game Monday, right? I mean, you didn't even bring that up the entire episode.
Yeah.
Are you still going to the game?
I'm going to the game, spending the night in Santa Clara.
Oh my God. How did that not get brought up once?
Shout out Pesto for the tickets. So I'll be in Santa Clara to watch my team get spread open. It'll be fun. I'll be sitting with a Detroit Lions fan. Shout out Connor. And we'll see how it goes.
Detroit Lions fan.
Pesto's brother is the Lions fan.
Oh, are they from Detroit, or what's the situation there?
He's from Detroit. No, he's just he was a Calvin Johnson fan, so he's the Lions fan. I'm not sure the lore behind it, but apparently he's a Lions fan, and so he'll be in Lions gear, and I'll be there just rooting for Sam Laporta and the 49ers to get a backdoor cover for you.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, are you doing any kind of bets with this guy? Is there going to be anything on the line? Or
nah, we'll keep it cordial because I don't even believe in my team.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, enjoy the game, bro. It's not going to rain, so you'll be all right with that. You're going to be in traffic for about 2.5 hours, so that'll suck.
We'll go early. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'll bring a poncho.
But all right, like I said, like, subscribe, comment. Follow us on Twitter, TikTok. Listen to us podcast-wise, Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
Link in bio.
That's going to be it. That's going to be it for the show today. We're probably going to come to you guys about Monday or Tuesday, but for today, we'll talk to you guys later.